स्टार्ट कर लो।
Hello everyone, very good morning. I hope I am audible. Let me wait for your confirmation for a minute. And yeah, by the time I can tell you about the Christmas gift ixamBee is bringing. So you have to unwrap this by going to the website. There is different offer for different people, different ID. Okay, thank you. Thanks for your confirmation. So let's come to the point. In this video, we are going to talk about unique challenges for working professionals, and these may be applicable for other people also, those who have lack of time for preparation. Then I am going to discuss in detail about RBI Grade B exam. It will be very helpful for you if you are starting your preparation especially, and if you have already started, it will be a good review about the overall Grade B exam and 7-point preparation strategy we will discuss. I will then talk about RBI Grade B notification. I know most of you may have been interested to know about this. Let's come to today's session, and whenever you have time, you can go to website for unwrapping them. The gift from ixamBee Center. So unique challenges for working professionals. Time. Your most precious resource is time, and that become much more precious for working professional. Right? Then your focus, because if you are in a job, your focus to your job also. You don't have that kind of study group which are with the people, those who are in college, those who have more information from their circles also. So before I go to this, I want to tell you about RBI Grade B and why I joined RBI Grade B, because my time the knowledge about RBI Grade B was very less. So what I thought, because it is a manager level post, higher salary, better designation, pay scales are better. I was working as a bank officer that time. So why I am telling about this working professional thing? So many people you must be seeing, those who are in job are cracking RBI Grade B exam. Freshers are also cracking. So because ultimately the thing is you have to crack the exam, right? And one good advantage is that your posting in RBI is in the bigger cities, the metro cities, the state capitals, right? So based on this, I joined RBI Grade B, leaving a bank job. But when I joined, later I realized actually RBI is very different. It is very different because RBI is the central bank of the country. Normally, what happens? It is also a bank, so we feel that it is a banking job. But I would clearly say it is a regulator's job. It is a supervisor's job. It is a job of working with the central bank. The mandate of RBI is very different from the mandate of a commercial bank. What RBI mandate is, because it will help you in understanding why you really want to prepare for RBI, even if you are a working professional, even if you have a good job at hand right now. I will summarize it here. Will not take more than 1-2 minutes talking about RBI. We'll go to exam first. It is for issuance of the bank note, keeping the reserve means the foreign exchange reserve, with a view of securing monetary stability in India. See the goal of RBI. You can then differentiate what banks do in general, and to operate currency and credit system of the country to its advantage, to have a modern monetary policy framework to meet the challenges of an increasingly complex economy, to maintain price stability while keeping in mind the objective of growth. So price stability is the main mandate for RBI. In fact, now RBI has been given inflation target that we keep on discussing in several classes. Right? So these are the things what a central bank primarily does through various departments. So I have listed it here. I am not going to read all the name of the department. The point is you will appreciate that working in different department, whether it is banking supervision, banking regulation, currency management, policy, investment operations, this is investment of the foreign reserves RBI have, or some banking department. So when I come to banking department in RBI, it is only bank to government and bank to bank. So these are the only two entities which open a bank account in RBI. The rest of the things are actually very different types of work related to regulation, supervision, payment system, DBOD, public debt office, ombudsman, customer complaint, IT work. This is what RBI is. A very different job. Even if you are working in bank, it may be very interesting and exciting career. Okay, so let me take your questions if anything interesting has come. Meanwhile, we are going to the exam pattern. The most important thing we are here to discuss exam is in three phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Starting with the phase 1, it has four sections, like most of the IBPS exam. QRE we call in short quantitative aptitude, reasoning and English, and general awareness. Of course, here general awareness is most important. Your 40% of the exam, but this but is very important here. You cannot clear phase one. I'm not talking even becoming RBI grade B. There are still two steps. You even cannot clear phase one without every section scoring in every section. So there is a sectional cutoff and there is a sectional timing which was introduced last year. Okay. So you have to prepare each section: English, quantitative aptitude, reasoning, and general awareness. Total 200 marks and 2 hours exam. Of course, 1/4 negative marking is also there. So you are asking, it is good time to prepare for RBI Grade B now. You are a fresher. Yeah, of course, you have still time. So notification has not come. If you don't start now, when you will start. So I'll come to that, how you can cover the entire syllabus. Do we have foreign posting? No. Funky videos. We do not have foreign posting in RBI because RBI does not have any office outside India. Okay, so coming to this point, that four sections you have to prepare for every section and you have to be careful about negative marking. Let me have it. Glimpse of the cutoff. So last year only that this section timing introduced. So you can see general awareness, like most of the time the cutoff was like 20. This year 17 it was slightly less. Maybe the GA section was tougher that time. Quant was also tougher in 2017. The sectional cutoff came down to 4 marks, while normally it is 7.5 marks. Same is in English and 15 marks in reasoning. So reasoning questions are also double, 60 questions in reasoning. And total last year 122. And phase 1 is very tough to clear. So one thing maybe RBI has done, which has given a lot of confusion to people. If you read the RBI notification, so you will find the syllabus mentioned for phase 2 exam. I will come to that syllabus, but nothing is mentioned for phase 1 exam. So when students start preparing, they start preparing directly for phase 2 exam without realizing that this phase 1 exam is really tough, very tough to crack. It looks like 122 marks out of 200, but it is tough to get. Very tough competition here, and you have to prepare this right now if you have not started. So this is I have taken from the notification. The notification mentions these four sections here, but it has not mentioned the syllabus. But based on our experience, I'm telling you these are the important topics you have to study. Starting with quantitative aptitude, QRE, I'm taking the sequence QRE and then GA. Quant, many people feel this is the biggest block. Yes, if you have not prepared for any competitive exam, say IBPS or NDA or CDS or CAT, you have to really build your fundamentals here. So these are the important chapters like time and work, mensuration, averages, time, speed, and distance, mixtures, allocations, permutations, probability, DI. DI questions are increasing in all IBPS exams nowadays. Some amount of algebra, relations, percentage, set theories, new topics are coming, some trigonometry, stock and share. So these are the important topics. But once you start preparing, once you develop the fundamentals, you will find that one is very much related to the other. If I tell you percentage, the concept of percentage is very useful for DI, and in fact, I start believing that it is then mixing to allegations and mixtures and time and work also, because in time and work what will be, one train is running at a speed of 100 pm/kh, in how many seconds it will cross a pole, and when it is a platform you will add the distance of a platform plus the distance of the train divided by the speed, you get the time. So that kind of concept clarity comes by the practice, first by having fundamentals. Don't need to be really a mathematician, that is not required at all, right? A high school level mathematics is more than enough. It is not maths, it is quant. I think this much understanding you have to build, and then you have to see the kind of question, develop fundamentals. Fundamentals are important, especially in quant. It takes time if you have not studied it well. Coming to the reasoning, here the reasoning is again 60 questions, the second highest weight after the general awareness. And reasoning is one thing which nobody has studied in colleges or schools. So, have you ever studied puzzles, sitting arrangement, data sufficiency? So this is all like logic based, but at the same time, you have to practice it. First, you have to understand how, what does it mean? So, what does it mean by blood relations? What is coding, decoding? So, how these, what is the logic behind this? So, syllogism, people do by Venn diagram. I do by AEIO method. Both are good. It's fine, whatever you like it. Inequality, I think this is one of the easiest topic I find in reasoning, but maybe for some of it is difficult. So my point is really something which can be built and which everybody builds from scratch while preparing for the competitive exam. So all are at the same platform. Okay, coming to English. Yeah, I could have told it earlier also. The exam happens both in English and Hindi, but you cannot clear the exam without knowing English. हिंदी में आप एग्जाम क्लियर कर सकते हैं, लेकिन इंग्लिश तो आपको जाननी पड़ेगी, because you have to first clear this phase 1 English paper in English, then I'll come to phase 2 where there is English descriptive paper. Okay, in meanwhile some questions. Tanvi is saying BPDI is enough. BPDI is absolutely enough for your phase 1 preparation and for the dynamic part in phase 2. Tanvi, information on RBI assistant. So we will do maybe a separate session on RBI assistant, but if you are asking about notification, I'll come to that. First, I'll come to RBI Grade B notification, but that clue will be helpful for you to understand about assistant also. Okay, then Kavi is saying Venn diagram. Yeah, so English, high school level English, any grammar book, understand the basics of the grammar, whether it is tenses, whether it is uh, correct sentences, verbs, nouns. So you have to know writing the correct grammar, and also these type of questions in reading comprehension will help you even if your grammar is not very great. Right? If you can read a paragraph and make a meaning out of it, then there are questions. So you can do that. Jumble words, jumble sentences. So these fill in the blanks. These are just basic understanding of the English. Coming to general awareness, 40% weighted in the phase 1, and most important for phase 1, also very useful for phase 2. So here you have to be knowing what is happening all around. As the name says, general awareness with a focus more on the news related to economics and banking. Economics means the things which are happening in the macroeconomics. Say today there is a problem on the fiscal deficit side, there is a problem on the economic growth side. RBI is following a low interest rate policy. So all these things keep on coming in all kind of publications. Newspaper is the best source, but as we were discussing, BPDA compiles it for the purpose of exam. In addition to that, you have to know everything about current affairs, whether it important government scheme, sport related news also, some banking terms, some important institution, national, international institutions, their headquarters. So all important updates you have to keep for general awareness. I have made a separate video how to score 60 plus marks in general awareness. So that people do it. Many people do 60 plus, 55 plus. I think a serious aspirant shall definitely aim out of a team we are saying here, right? So 55 plus a serious aspirant shall definitely aim, because by having higher marks here, you are also going to make it in the ESI paper. So for general awareness preparation, please go to a video I have made how to score more than 60 marks, that I have detailed, or maybe sometime we do a separate session on that, because every topic needs a detailed discussion, right? So but general awareness is sometimes looks like an infinite syllabus. It is not so. By reading the right things, you will be able to score that. Okay, if we summarize phase 1 now. So GA and English, your accuracy matters. Time will not, so here you will see there are 30 questions. In English 25 minutes, so time will not be much problem here. And of course in general awareness, in fact 25 minutes will be more than enough. So I believe I mostly do these 80 questions in 15, 16, 17 minutes, because if I know where is the headquarter of IMF, I click and move ahead. I cannot calculate or I cannot calibrate in the exam hall what is the inflation target for RBI, or where is the head office of World Bank, or who is the president, any such GA based question. Same is in English, only time required is in paragraph reading. So reading comprehension question, rest we can move fast. So here accuracy is very important, but in quant and reasoning, your speed and accuracy both are required, because in quant time will be less. You have 30 questions, 25 minutes, not even a minute to solve a question, right? And many people are not able to just clear the cutoff. So you need to be accurate. Need not to attempt all the questions. 30 are not required. We saw cutoff was 7.5. Even if you do 12 for 15 questions, these are good enough, because by having some mistakes are going to be happen. So 2, 3 questions you do wrong, then also you are very safe to clear. And so in the case of reasoning, there also speed is very important. Otherwise, you won't be able to solve these questions. 60 questions you have to do in 45 marks. Requires practice. The sectional cutoff is not important. It's important to do the sectional cutoff as we discussed here, 7.5 marks kind of, or 20 marks in GA. But with this, we are not going to get 122 marks, which was the last year cutoff, if you add the minimum cutoff in every section. So you have to actually score much higher than this to get the final cutoff in phase 1. So be careful about that, and it takes time to prepare. It takes a lot of time to prepare. So be very careful about the phase 1 preparation. As I said, repeating notification mentions phase 2 syllabus, but first you have to be confident that you are clearing phase 1. Otherwise, every preparation for phase 2 is going to be waste. Now coming to phase 2, but before that, let me take your questions. How much current affairs is required? So Abhishek, you are asking, I think, in terms of the month. So last 4 5 months is good enough, but it is not that easy. So many time, what is mistake students are doing? They feel okay. So GA, I will start preparing. That time I will read 4 month BPD and it will be done. You will read 4 month BPD, but will you able to absorb everything? It takes time to build. As I said, general awareness syllabus looks like infinite. So what is important? It takes time to understand that. So I would suggest start it today itself, so that by the time exam comes you have the background for that, you have the foundation for that. So that time you have to mug up lot of data, a lot of factual information, lot of committees name which are in news in that 4 5 months before the exam. But the basic understanding how IMF is different from World Bank, if that is there, you will not get a confusion in the exam hall when something is asked on that. There are ways to remember headquarters, the name of the people, the purpose of the institutions, and then these are going to help you in phase two exam also. That is your ultimate aim, to become the RBI officer. The aim is not only just to crack phase one. Okay, so do that. The current affairs portion, 4 5 months is good enough. Harsh is asking for a fresher. How much month of the practice is of typing? Typing is not required, Harsh. So we are coming to this. All this exam is objective till now. What I have told you, the phase one exam is completely objective. In phase two, you have only this portion, paper two, which is English writing, where you have to do the typing. You have to type it in the keyboard, but that also is not a problem because here it is not about the speed. I will come to this section. You have to have this practice of typing. No speed is required. It is again about writing the correct English. Let me come to that. How much month of schemes and indexes will be indices she shall should we prepare? Right. So this is a like this is the kind of words we have to be careful. So when we say index, it is singular. Indices is plural. So here again, you can take a list, like we have a list of important indices prepare. 1 year information is good enough for this. But again, at the same time, suppose in the exam the question is asked, have you heard about the scheme called IRDP? That is the scheme from where the poverty alleviation started in India. Or maybe what was the theme of second 5 year plan? What was the tenor of first 5 year plan? So some important, very, very important element of the history we have to know. When was RBI created? Which was the first bank in India? When was State Bank of India nationalized? So these kind of historical element are also important because when we want to know about banking in India or about central banking in India, so just an overview of the history we shall know. And I remember many of these things because we have studied it so many times. So these are the also important thing you have to know. So when I'm talking about general awareness, 1 year for say schemes, but it does not mean that say MNREGA. MNREGA is now I think more than 10 years old scheme, but still it is in practice. So you have to know what is this scheme, what is the main purpose, when it was launched. Okay. So these like depth and breadth of the preparation you have to manage. Kapil is asking what about the difficulty level? Yeah, difficulty level, Kapil, is very much RBI grade B is definitely much difficult than the RBI assistant exam. RBI assistant exam is simple level questions. That's why the cutoff also goes very high in RBI assistant. But at the same time, you have to also appreciate that the kind of applicant, the kind of competition in the RBI grade B exam, which is very, very high. And for that reason, the selection in RBI grade B becomes difficult. Okay. So you please go through the test if you want to assess the difficulty level. We have mock test free. So how much month prior to exam I have written? Is the level of English section easy? Shubham, yes, English is not that very difficult. And as I said, You have to qualify in phase 1. In phase 2, you have to know writing the correct English. It is important. So, Sharad, the DEPR course we do not have right now. So, when we launch, we will tell you. UPSC aspirant Lohit saying could not clear my state PCH exam, finished overall cutoff but lost in quant. Lohit is saying. So, yeah, that is what I was saying, that it is important because 2018 quant was tough. So 19 it was not that difficult. So we have to be extra careful. And but Lohit, after that also you have to clear phase 2. But good that you are very near to clearing phase 1. Grade A notification in RBI Nitish, that is also I am hearing. I cannot say no also, but I cannot say yes also. Right. So unless it comes, nothing can be very confirmed on that. Right now, let me come to the final cutoff before I tell you about the syllabus of phase 2. And this you must have seen in so many places. So journal side, because let me take one. So this year cutoff was 238 marks, and last year it was 248, 245 before that. So you can see the cutoff is somewhere ranging between say 240 to 50 marks, and this is out of how much? Out of 350. So 300 marks is your phase 2 exam plus 50 marks is interview. I'll come to that phase 3 interview, right? So out of this 350, this is the final cutoff. So let me now go to the syllabus, but before that, just I have a mark sheet here of this year one student. Just wanted to tell you this. For phase 2, for the interview call, so this was the mark 193. For general category, I am telling you 193 marks, the interview call was there, right? So coming to the syllabus of phase 2, then we will come to how you have to prepare the 7-point strategy I was talking about. You read it here, I am reading your question about number of vacancies. See, number of vacancies normally is ranging somewhere between 100 to 100 type of, like last time it was 156 if I remember correct. So don't expect it is to go much beyond that 200, and because retirements are always happening, so it is not going to be reduced much. But you need one seat, so you have to always see that how do I get my one seat, because if it is like increase by 50 or decrease by 50, it won't make much difference for you. Okay, yeah, I will come to notification, Iman, in this session. Typing speed we discussed, level of English in pre-exam. Go to the questions, mock test, and also go to the previous year question paper. So that will tell you the exact level of difficulty in the English. Okay, how many days we can notification, I will come to that, and how many days we can come to the notification, Ivan. And I request please not to repeat so many times, because I won't be otherwise able to read others question. Tentative month, I'll come to that notification. I think the most important question is notification, but I'll come to that another maybe 5 minutes. Okay, Anurag is saying he's a commerce student. So you are right now in 12th, Anurag. I would suggest you right now to focus on your studies. First, you get a good grade in your 12th. It will help you, because this exam you are going to be eligible after graduation only. So right now, I would suggest you first to focus on your studies to get good marks in your 12th grade. And then after that also, during your first year, second year of the graduation, focus on building overall awareness about, because you are already a commerce student, so you have to know more about what is happening in the world of finance and macroeconomics in general. Keep on building that time you can pick up quant, English, reasoning kind of thing also, so that you build a good base, right? But right now I would suggest you to focus on your board exam. Okay. Iman, just hold, I will come to that. Chaitanya is asking why people get less marks in interview. Well, because maybe board says, or maybe felt, I cannot say with certainty, that interview shall be differentiation, right? So board may have realized that this time let's differentiate in interview. Otherwise, mostly the people used to get like 20 to 40 marks in the interview, but this time the range was 1 mark to 49 marks. So the range increased, but we know the person who got 1 mark also got selected. The person who got 49 marks also got selected, right? So that also you have to appreciate that all kind of people can get selected if they have scored really well in the mains exam. Current affairs syllabus simultaneously, yeah. I would suggest Rocky keep on reading what is happening in the economy. So static part, I am coming to that now. I have so many questions to read. Okay, first let me read the syllabus. So I think that will answer some of your questions. Then I will take more. Here in economic and social issues, so this is the syllabus given by RBI notification, growth and development. In this, what you study, measurement of growth. What does it mean by growth? How it is measured? How it is different from development? The concept, right? So development is supposed to be more inclusive, but again there is topic about sustainable development. Actually, one of the favorite topic of RBI is human development. So it always asks some question on human development. You have to understand the basics behind it, and also the terms, what is GDP, GNP, national income, per capita income. So these are important things. Then in say poverty alleviation, employment generation, no theoretical knowledge is required. This is mostly data driven, right? But then there will be some topic like monetary and fiscal policy, some extent privatization, economic planning. You have to understand what does it mean. What is balance of payment, current account deficit, okay? What is current account? What is capital account? What is export import policy? Here you have to again have some understanding about what is the theory of absolute advantage, theory of competitive advantage. So some basics are required even if it is not mentioned here, about institution, important economic institution like IMF, World Bank, WTO. What is this regional trade corporation? What are the benefits of trade, as I was saying, no? Social structure in India, all these are demographic trend, the data driven thing. We all know some important data related to gender, poverty, all this which is in the news, we have to know that. Okay. So here some static knowledge, some dynamic. If you see the trend of last few years, you will realize about 50-50 in the exam. The weightage of the questions is about 50-50 here, if I'm correct. I'm trying to rethink whether it is 75-25. We have done that analysis. Yeah, about 50-50. So the government schemes are important here, but don't think only government scheme, because next year, suppose this year we are going through a very difficult time in terms of the COVID time. So economic growth is suffering everywhere. So next year there can be more questions related to deficit, budget, RBI's monetary policy. You can expect that nowadays newspaper are covered with all such news in detail. Lot of analysis on that. So that may be having highest weightage next year, right? Because nowhere the topic-wise weightage is mentioned in this syllabus. So you have to understand all which is going on. Coming to the second paper, English, which requires you to type, so it is mainly related to three sections, three types of questions: essay, précis, and RC. RC is reading comprehension. You have to just type in the words given here. So 300 words. My strong advice to you is write 299 words, but do not make it 301. There is no benefit of writing any extra word here. No benefit, but it may harm you. So better to keep in limit. So that's why I was saying you don't really need a typing speed, but you have to write a correct English. You also need to write a very long essay. What is 300 word? Précis, the name itself is précis. You have to basically summarize in your own words. So 150 words only you have to write. 150 words means about 10-12 sentences you have to write. And here it is only 300 words. About one page only you have to type. But you have to write it correct. Punctuation, grammar, short sentences, to the point. less about the knowledge about, because many a time people say, what will be the essay topic this year? Essay topic will be what all is happening all around us. But how correctly you write, the purpose of this test is to test your communication skill for official communication. Third paper, where people feel the syllabus is very new to them. So because people have not studied, of course, finance and management. But if you see the scoring pattern in last few years, students are scoring more in paper 3, which is FM, than in ESI or English descriptive. So nothing to get scared here. Okay. So topics are related to finance, financial system, which is about, I was saying, like RBI, then banks, then other financial institutions, development institutions like development financial institution, whether NABARD, SIDBI, EXIM, financial markets. This importance is increasing because the importance of market is increasing overall, and how these markets are connected: forex market, money market, bond market, equity market, important instruments and development, and these are very interrelated. This will require you some time to understand, then you will really enjoy studying finance. Some basic understanding of the, say, financial instruments, something about risk management, something about derivative. Why I'm saying something, don't try to be expert in that. So in derivative, if you understand what are the functions of derivative, why these are there are four types of derivative, how these are different from one another, that is going to meet the purpose. Not that we have to really understand, say, I go to options, a type of derivative, then there are ways to calculate the pricing of an options, actual formula not required. The art is balancing your study well, right? Otherwise there is so much to study, you will lose that. You read something new, you will forget the old. Inflation is mentioned here, but this concept is useful even for ESI. That's why I do not segregate the preparation of ESI and FM. Many a time people say, I want to have a course of FM. Not possible. Because see, inflation, when we are talking about WPI, CPI, etc., and in ESI they have written monetary policy and fiscal policy. So these concepts are interrelated. Even the budget thing also, it is interrelated. So it is one study, right? The syllabus is mentioned like this. So prepare it comprehensively, and the management part is actually easy to prepare. 50% of the questions are normally from management. Once you read this, and though it is termed management, except this first part to here, so rest of the thing I would say is human resource management or organizational behavior. You take any book of OB, organizational behavior, you will read all these topics. Go little in deep here. The options in the question paper will be confusing. You have to go a little bit in deep here, understanding the management concept, but you can score well in management in less time. Phase 3 is interview, 30 marks, straightforward, nothing. You go in the interview room, 15-20 minute interview, talk about yourself, talk about what is happening in the economy. We will come to interview preparation later sometime, and it is 50 marks. Of course, important for some student, it becomes critical. Every extra mark is important in your selection. And as I said, you can do the exam in Hindi and English. Still, you will need to know the English, because English is important. English is important for phase 1 and phase 2. Coming to your questions again quickly. Previous year papers are available, Shivangi, on our website, ixamBee.com. All are free. You can attempt from there. Daily free live classes for ESI and Vikas. Daily will be challenging for me. Whatever best possible, we'll try to do. Naga, you are a beginner. You can crack the exam or not. This will be told you by your score, right? So you attempt the test, assess today, assess after a week, next week, see the improvement. Your score is the best predictor of your performance. I will tell you the way. I will tell you the way. So this way you can uh, We have government scheme and indices, Tanvi, in the course. We have that PDF. Previous year paper I told you. Okay, can we expect recruitment combined, Shubham? Yeah, okay, before I go to that Shubham's question, let me answer. So see, this is not that every year the notification has to come, or the notification has to come only once in a year. So there is nothing like that. They have never said that we will come with a notification every year or it is certain month. In fact, last year I remember NABARD notification came after a gap of about 10 or 11 months. 1st of January 2020, NABARD notification came, and it was not even complete 1 month after the previous notification. So there is no such time gap there. So don't mix 2021. It whenever notification comes, it comes. It has nothing to do with the year. Okay. Does people changing their field like from core engineering to RBI grade B have no said? In fact, most of the people today clearing RBI grade B exam or even UPSC exam are engineers. Nothing like that. There is nothing change in the field. I have made, I think, a video on why engineers in RBI, in banks, in economics. So please go through that. It will help you to understand that even today top-notch economists are from engineering background. So Vikas has added this information. Around 18 people got selected this year in RBI Grade B who got less than 10 marks in the interview. Because the mains exam, 300 marks is the mains exam. Notification, RBI assistant, same point. Anant is saying I'm jobless, commerce background since 2 years preparing with the effect of interview because other people. So, Anant, you tell me how the computer. So, this is an excuse. Excuse me for saying this. So, if other people have gone to say IIT or IIM, they deserve to go there, right? So, you shall not feel anything bad about it. They deserve to go there. They cracked the IIT exam or IIM exam. So, that is a very, very fair selection. Still, it does not stop you to crack this exam or any other exam, and it does not give them any benefit in phase 1, phase 2 exam if you are from IIT or IIM, because ultimately you have to score. If you feel in interview they can get 5 marks extra because of the background, nothing wrong in that. No, nothing wrong in that. If they have cracked IITs or IIM, so what is wrong if they get 5 marks extra in interview because of that? And as we discussed, despite of low marks in interview, one can become RBI grade B officer. Okay, one can become IAS officer. So this is, I would say, an excuse only. Find out a way how you can become an officer. Daily update, free classes. So because beyond the point, free will not add any value, and we'll try to get the juice out of what we are saying and what we keep on saying. You will get a lot here, and you have to find out a way. Okay, Arvinas. Why people get less marks in English? Because they don't do correct. Most of the many people come from Hindi medium background. Even I also come from Hindi medium background. My English is not as great. I also get more marks in in my all my exams. My English is not correct many a times. So that's okay, but you can correct the exam. Management part, fringing topic, important or not? So management part, fringe topic. I do not understand what does it mean by fringe topic. RTK, if you can explain that. Shivam is saying complete your presentation. I will do that. Please suggest some good books. Good books. I have made another video. What are the books to read for RBI Grade B? Kumari Prakriti. Please go to that video. Notification we are going to talk. So see, Rishabh Sharma, don't write so many times. I have read your message. I will complete my presentation the way I want to do it. Okay, this is my class. In management part, fringe topic important or not? Okay, fringe topic I do not understand. Right, coming to RBI grade notification. So notification is difficult to predict, but let's see the history. 2014 it came in June, then 2015 it came in October. So no exact 12 month, but in 16 it came in July. So before 12 month, here 17 it again came before 12 month. So people started predicting it comes say with a gap of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 months. So both are years. You see, it came before 12 months. Then in 18, it became 14 months gap. Then in 19, it becomes again 14 months gap. And 19 time people were saying because there was some court case related to RBI phase 1, some issue was there with the marking pattern people were saying. So that was the reason people said, but I don't believe that was the reason for any delay because there was never a delay. Where is the delay? So sometime it comes in 14 months, sometime it comes in 12 months, sometime it comes in 9 months. So there is no exact time. There is no exact time, right? But this is the pattern since 2014, which is being observed, right? So 2019, we know what people, the delay is because of the COVID, right? Because this time the last year interview could not be completed now, which is done, the result is also announced. So the notification will come anytime. I will not give any date, though there are strong news that it is going to come in March. But I am neither saying yes it is coming in March, or I am also not saying that it cannot come tomorrow. It can come even tomorrow. We have seen such surprises happening every year. Every year such surprises we have seen. So what I would suggest is that focus on this. Once the notification comes, the question will change to, you know that, okay? But why that question will come, let me show you. This is the gap between the notification date and exam date. How much time you get after the notification is there? Not even 40-45 days to prepare for phase 1. So this is important to understand. And between phase 1 and phase 2, there is less than month to 25 days to do. So this is, you have to realize what will happen when the notification will come. So today, this is the most asked question. And once the notification comes, this will become the most asked question. You will see it happening. It happens every year, right? So let's focus on this and let's talk about the strategy. What shall you do now? This is the time to build your fundamentals. I discussed the syllabus of QRE. We went into very detail. This is the time to build. It is going to take time. I discussed about the competition in the phase 1. It is very, very, very competitive. This is the time to build your conceptual understanding, whether it is economics, finance, or management. For phase 2, I shall actually add here English grammar also, because many of you suggested this during the session that people don't score well in English because most of us have poor grammar in English, which is required for your phase 1 and phase 2 both. So these fundamentals you have to develop now. And also foundation of general awareness, because general awareness, don't think of that before the exam you will take 4 months summary and you will do it. If you don't understand, say for example some basic things which will not be given to you in BPD also. What are the three pillars of democracy? We were discussing this in one class last week. So what are the three pillars of democracy? Because these we are supposed to read in, I don't remember whether it was class 7th or class 8th, but somewhere before high school We studied this, right? But we forget, because that time the purpose was just passing the exam. But these are some basic foundations, so we have to know these. We were discussing that because in terms of some newspaper article we were discussing. So these are the foundations that you have to build. If you lack that, if you have that, then you may crack the exam in 4 months, reading the 4 month summary. That will be doable. But if you don't have that, this is the time to build those kind of fundamental, even for general awareness. So many people even don't understand how many languages are there, what is our constitution. So the basic things about India, about world, about economy in general, so which we are supposed to know. So this is the time to build these foundations for general awareness. Then after the notification you can read 4 months BPD and then crack. Otherwise it will not help. This is the time you identify your learning gaps and what are the resources to fill, because first you have to find out the gap. How you will find out the gap? By attempting test, mock test. Some of you may be good in quant, somebody may be good in English, somebody may be like one guy was telling about cracking the state level PCS exam. General awareness may be good for you, but may not be finance or management. So see what are your gaps and what are the resources, whether you need to buy some book, or you need to subscribe to some channel, or you need to go to some teacher for that. There are various ways to fill the gap, right? So you have to find out these resources right now. When it starts raining, that time if you look for the umbrella, so you won't be able to find it. This is the time to do that. And if you can find out a study group, please do that. It will help you. You can learn from each other. I have when I was talking to selected candidate, so I realized many of them have good study groups, because you learn from your peers, and that is very very helpful. That keeps your motivation also very high, because otherwise sometimes it becomes very very boring to study all alone. There is so much to read, and sometimes it may be very boring to know so many facts, data. If you have not studied finance, it sounds very very dry and boring subject, even economics, to many people. Our economics professors used to say economics is a very dry subject. So but it depends. Once you start learning it, you start taking interest, you will enjoy it. So this study groups helps in that motivation, that energy, which is required to be active on day-to-day basis. This last point, no, sorry, second last point, this art of separating grain from the chaff. तो हिंदी में बोले तो जो गेहूं और घुन में अंतर समझना है, because today we are living in an age of information overload. What you shall not do, it's as important what you shall do. What you shall not study is as important, because otherwise so many things are coming from so many places. So many people have so many idea. People those who had not even cleared phase 1 exam, they have become like great professor of WhatsApp University, and what more to say. So be careful about that, where you are putting your energy and focus. So this also takes time. This also takes time. It will come with some expertise. Separating grain from the chaff, it takes some time. So spend that time right now in that, so that you can focus on the exam. Because once the notification come, that is the time to practice. That is the time to revise. Because as I said, you will have what, some 40 days for phase 1, and with this kind of hyper competitive exam, what is 40 days? Nothing. If today you are getting a score of say 100 in phase 1, then you shall expect in 40 days you can make it to 125. From zero to it will not come. Even today also you attempt, you shall get at least 30-40 marks in phase 1 exam. Try to do some practice test, but from 40 marks today to 125 marks in 40 days? Will it be practical? That is the question you need to ask yourself. When the RBI notification will come, it will come. It will come. Whether RBI Grade B notification, assistant notification, NABARD notification, some other notification, that will come. But that is the important question. So this is the 7-point strategy. You can go through this again, work on it. That is most important. And last point, if you study something extra, even if you are damn sure that you are going to crack the exam, extra marks are not going to bite you. That are not going to harm you, that are going to benefit you by getting an extra rank. And your rank is going to count in your seniority, which happens in RBI Grade B. I think I could answer your questions. And let me read one more. Oh, I have already spent 1 hour, then I am closing it fast. IT background people also work in RBI, and human capital management, something like that, fringe topic. Exactly, I took some question. Yeah, so Arti, if you have covered the rest basic part of the management, you can go to this. Arti, what you are saying? Fundamentals of general awareness, Tanvi, you have to read. So competitive exam magazines are helpful, and newspaper is also very helpful. Reading is required. So may not be that remembering every fact initially, but you have to read. Okay, I don't think economics is boring. Yeah, it is in fact, very interesting, Arti, but initially it is. So I was quoting my professor, right? uh, Online ambience is not Kapil. Yeah, I agree. See, offline, if you have very good atmosphere where all student of like-minded student are there, it will be helpful. But if that is not there, you have to see what is the best option with you. Mm. Because many a times, finding out right kind of people who can be really helpful for your preparation at one neighborhood may be challenging. Okay, previous year questions are available on the website Tech and Games. You can attempt these questions for free here. And at ixamBee, we have the guidance of this kind of expert faculty who have cracked several multiple exams. And today, I also wanted to tell you about this Christmas offer. If you have not seen this, you can go to the website and you will have this interesting gift. So thanks for today's discussion. We will be having RBI classes daily for this week, 11 o'clock. See you tomorrow.